Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to make a quick video. I had a request from a YouTube viewer to talk a little bit about my weight. I thought I'd made a video a while back. I couldn't find it for the life of me. I know I made it. I might have just not have uploaded it, or maybe I uploaded it. I had to take it down because the audio wasn't good or something. Anyway, I thought I would revisit this quickly. I'm an Excavator power armor user, so if you want the maximum benefit, you will have to run around in some sort of PA or power armor. Excavators obviously has the best weight benefit. I use only Excavator for that very reason. Anyway, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the obvious stuff. I don't use anything that I have to keep on doing. All my weight benefits are generally permanent. They do go up and down a little bit, depending on various factors and things. But I'll talk about those, and there's a combination of mods, perks, things like that in general, and then calibrated shocks are the main things, right? So, but I'm sure I'm going to forget a few things. So if I do, feel free to comment in the comment section, help others out, and how to maximize your benefits, what weight you get, etc. So let's start with how much weight I've got on this character. Now, I've got 541 on this character. I kind of range between around 511 and I think 575. I've had it up until. So I've had some of my characters up to 575. So it's really going to depend on a few things. But anyway, we'll go through some of those and we'll talk about those. But yeah, the main one is Excavator Power Armor. Does have the calibrated shocks and will give you an extra 100 carry weights, right? So let's start off with that quickly. So I'm going to jump out of my power armor here quick. And there's a couple of things I did to my power armor in terms of mods. So without any power armor, I have 331. So I went from 331 up to 541 just on my power armor. And that's not just calibrated shocks. 100 of that is calibrated shocks. So let's take a quick look at that. Okay, so I'll talk about the calibrated shocks first. So as you can see, calibrated shocks, you need 10 violet flux, to 5 on each leg, to create calibrated shocks. You need to buy the plan. The plan is available at the Grafton, typically the Grafton and the Camden vendors. You'll probably have to server hop. It does actually change between the two. So yeah, you definitely want to get that. So that's number one you want to get as calibrated shocks. The second thing you want to get for your excavator is motion assisted servos. What this does is it adds an additional 2 strength to your power armor, which will ultimately increase your carry weight. Okay. You don't need this one, but what I typically do for my helmet is I add database responder that gives you some intelligence. I believe it's intelligence. So let me see if I can click on that. Yeah, increases intelligence. So yeah, I have either the intelligence or I have the one where it shows up on the enemies. Those are the kind of two that I use. But yeah, this is good if you're doing score running because it increases your intelligence, which means you get more XP. So I think generally that's a good idea. Okay, so the second thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you're part of a group, a team. And I'll show you why. There's a perk that I use. And you'll notice I'm radiated. And the more radiated you are, the more strength you have, in theory. Okay, so you'll notice I'm at least, normally what I do is I run half radiated. The more, like I said, the more radiated with bloodied builds, you'll see people running sort of 10 down at the 10 kind of mark. You can see if you look at Dr. Brightex there, he's running quite a little bit more radiated than I am. But yeah, I've definitely seen people even more radiated than that, right? So he might be running a bloody build, he might not. But yeah, the more radiated, and let me show you what that really means. So I run a card called Radical. What this does is the greater your rads, the greater your strength, max +5 strength. So this gives you an automatic, well, not an automatic, but it gives you up to 5 max strength if you radiate it. Typically that's around the halfway mark. I think we'll give you that, right? Let's actually just take a quick look here. So I'm running 25 strength at the moment on this character. So the more strength you can get, the more carry weight you're going to be able to carry. So there's probably other ways to get your strength up, such as legendary perks, for instance. If we take a look at that, I'm not using them, but let's say you had an extra slot here and you wanted to running 1 intelligence here. But if you ran your strength, then that would increase your carry weight as well, right? So that's another idea. Instead of using one of these other perks, in fact, let's go here quickly and let's see if we can prove that to be accurate. Okay, so I can get rid of that. I don't really use this one. Unequip. Okay, so let's equip a strength card. No, we don't want to do that. Okay, so before we do that, let's just double check here. Yeah. Let's make sure 25 strength, and then our carry weight is 541. Okay, so I just want to make sure we know what those numbers are. I don't want to do that, but okay. Okay, so let's add a strength card here, and let's see what it does, if anything. Okay, so you got your special stats here. So +1 strength, +1 strength perk points, cap at 15. So yeah, there's a limit of 15, so it may not actually have any effect on my character. If you have less than 15, then it might be worth your while to do, right? Okay, +2, +3. So there you go. So if you really max out this card, we could probably increase our strength quite a bit. But anyway, let's see what one star gives us. Okay. So we got +26, which is at +1. And then there you go, 546. So we've got an extra +5 strength there, right? Just off the bat, right? So that's kind of useful, right? Okay. The other thing is mutations. So let's take a quick look at that. The one that jumps in, and then we'll look at perk cards, back at perk cards again. So the one thing is called is Marsupial. I think everyone or most people above level 30 will have Marsupial, or even before level 30 you can have Marsupial, just can't generally keep it, right, without the card. I'll talk about that in a sec. But anyway, Marsupial gives you a +25 carry weight, but you want to have Class Freak, the perk card Class Freak, and Strange in Numbers to boost that, and then of course be part of a team, because all of those work together, integrated. So it's important to, when you jump on, join in a team, because those type of cards will give you some additional benefits, right? And there might be some other mutations that give you some additional. So if we look at Egghead, Egghead is greater than -1. Is there any other ones that give you strength? Yeah, none of them really jump out at me. Egghead is greater than 1 strength, int equals 8. There might be something there. So yeah, I mean, just at least get Marsupial if anything. But obviously there's a whole bunch of mutations. They're generally beneficial to run around with mutations, right? Okay, let me just show you the perks that are related to the mutations. Of course, it's Class Freak. You should run around with this. This is pretty beneficial. What this does is it gets rid of all the negative effects by 75%. So if you have just Marsupial but you don't have Class Freak, then you lose -4 strength. So it's almost not worth your while to have Marsupial at that case. But You should generally try have Class Freak or have somebody in your team. If you run around with a friend or you run a second Xbox like I do, just have that second character have Class Freak and share it, right? That's one way to do it. And then the second one is Quack Surgeon. Sorry, not Quack Surgeon, Stranger Numbers. Okay, so positive mutation effects are 25% stronger if your teammates are mutated too. So most high levels are mutated. So if you join any team, if you have a low level on your team, like a level 30 or less, chances are they don't have mutations. Some of them will. But yeah, they need to be mutated as well, and then you get this extra 25%, and that will give you increased strength as well. So you'll notice that, and let me show you that quick as well. So as we know, my strength is now 546. Let me leave the team, and I'll show you what that does to me. And you can see I've lost. So it was 546. So what's that? 10, 16 plus 7. So yeah, like 21, 22 in terms of carry weight there, right? So quite a bit. So always join a team. Because then you get that. Oh, this allows me to join again. Oh, there we go. It's a bit laggy. Yeah, 546. So yeah, so you need, in order to get that, you need join a team, obviously. But you also need radical. Just remember that you need to run with radical, right? In order to that, or have a friend share it, right? Because yeah, if you want to get those benefits plus be half radiated, they all work sort of together, right? And then lastly, that I can think of is, now there are some weapons that'll give you extra strength. I'm not going to get into those because I don't think any of my weapons really. I guess some of them do. I don't really look at weapons that give me that strength, but I'm assuming there are some weapons that do that. We can look at that in a bit. And then lastly, strong back, right? So strong back gives you an extra. If you go 4-star, a lot of people don't realize this is a 4-star card. A lot of people think it's a 3-star. So make sure you get this card up to 4-star, because this will give you a plus 40 to carry weight, which is quite significant, right? And will allow you to carry a lot of weight. I don't think I necessarily need to talk about stuff like travel pharmacy. These are quality of life perks, but these will reduce your stuff. So you can obviously carry more. You can't actually, it doesn't increase your carry weight, but it reduces how much your items weigh. So in this case, travel pharmacy allows you to. So these are standard perks that everyone should be carrying. Is travel pharmacy level 3. Weighs all your cams are reduced by 90%, so you can carry a significant amount more in terms of that. Bandola, so if you're carrying a lot of ammo on you, again, I carry a lot of ammo and stuff. Your ballistic weapon ammo load weighs 9%. Okay, so again, it should be kind of standard for most people. Martial artist allows your melee weapons to weigh less. True hiker. So your foods, again, everyone should have this. True hiker 3 allows your food to be less than 90%. So again, if you're carrying a lot of food, now with legendary perks like Survivor, you don't really need to carry food anymore, to be honest. But if you do, because I do, then yeah, this will reduce your carry weight by 90%. And those for mutations, if you do have mutations, make sure you got starch genes at 2, so you don't lose your mutations. Those are kind of standard as well. You should all have those. So yeah, so I think that's pretty much it in terms of carry weight. So let's just summarize. Your Excavator have calibrated shocks on it, assisted servos on your torso. As a minimum there, run your radical cards into endurance. You got endurance radical card, your class freak, your stranger numbers, and your strong back. Those are at minimum what you should be carrying there, right? And then of course we talked a little bit about the legendary perk, because it gives you an extra point card. But if you get this up to you get that up to 4 stars, then you get an extra +5 strength, which will obviously increase your carry weight, right? So that might be worth actually maxing out, to be honest. But yeah, there you go. I hope you found that useful. That's all I can kind of think of at the moment. If I did miss anything and somebody knows, I know there's a bunch of food buffs. Just worth mentioning, I guess, is I always carry some what's it called? Yeah, no, food. Let's go down to. So I always carry some red and lager typically on my characters. This will give you a temporary +50 carry weight. So if you're stuck out there in the wasteland and you picked up something and you just don't want to drop it, this will give you a quick boost of +50 strength, and it's got me out of a lot of sticky situations. You just need 2 ants and to create this at your BIV station. Just keep a few of these around. They're pretty easy to make if you can figure out how to farm ants, which isn't that easy. But if you did the teapot event, typically that's the best way to get ants nowadays. But yeah, carry that on you. And then of course I probably use more. I don't use that too much, but the other thing I do use, which is whiskey. Which gives you, I guess, I think it gives you +2 strength here, which I think works out to be about +10 in carry weight. So if you just like 10 short or 9 short or 5 short, whiskeys are really quick and easy, cheap to make, and easy to find. You don't even have to make it, to be honest. So I carry a lot of whiskey, and I use a lot of whiskey just to get me to the train station to sell stuff. And there are definitely other quick foods, like ribeye steak, which is from the cows, the Brahmin. So I think if you cook some ribeye steak or whatever it's called from Brahmin meat, that gives you +20 strength. So if you carry, except that kind of goes off after a while, but where whiskey doesn't. So, but it does give you the instant +20. It's easy to make. It's easy to find. You just kill your cow in your camp, and it's really. I think you can still do it anyway, or at least someone else can. And I'll give you a quick boost there, right? So yeah, so there are kind of other things, and like I said, there are probably some weapons. Let me see if I carry anything that gives me strength here. Nothing's jumping out at me right now, but I'm sure there are certain weapons that give you some additional strength, perhaps. And of course, I wouldn't get into the non-power armor stuff. Of course, you know, there's different outfits that do give you the additional strength. So if you run in a non-power armor outfit, I mean, there's definitely ways to mimic the same carry weight and strength. I mean, I've seen people with up to +600 strength, with, like, you know, the yielding stuff, the yielding armor and stuff. So there are some other ways to get your strength up, even if you don't want to run around in Excavator. Anyway, I hope you found it useful. If you did, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. If you do want to support the channel, I do have some Amazon associate links in my description that I would appreciate you using if you want to support the channel. So thanks very much.